My name is Taylor Durant, and I'm a registered nurse pursuing a pediatric nurse practitioner degree at Upstate Medical University. So today I'm going to talk about asthma and how asthma can affect the family and especially children. Asthma symptoms affect an estimated 26 million Americans, 19 million adults, and 7 million children, and are one of the leading causes of absences from work and school. So the purpose of this video is to provide a demonstration on education for family members who may have a child who has asthma. I found a website which is known for the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. It increased my understanding of asthma, and I think it's a really good education tool. It's very accessible just on the internet, so anybody who would want to retrieve the information could. So during this brief tour on my video, I'm going to cover screening, symptoms, treatment, and an explanation on what asthma is. It's important to understand that asthma is a chronic illness, and it can be very scary. This earned a SEER score of a 3.8. So this is the website, and it just begins to talk about asthma information. It goes over the overview about what asthma is. It's a wheezing sound in the chest caused by increased work of breathing, can be associated by stress, exercise, illness, extreme weather, and irritants. So if there's a lot of pollen around, or maybe there's a lot of dust in the home, that would be something that we would encourage family members to get rid of. Symptoms can be coughing, shortness of breath, chest tightness, and the wheezing. We talked about the triggers. So on this web page, if you go to the bottom, it helps kind of guide your resources. And this is where I went from. I'm looking in the asthma section. And then just to go to the screening, we're going to go to that right now. So asthma screening. There is a YouTube video that goes over the asthma screening. It takes about 15 minutes, but it actually was really helpful, and it was good knowledge. Also, symptoms of asthma. Again, I just want to note that giving children an inhaler, we wouldn't just do it like this. I just kind of pulled up a Google search of a spacer. So this is what a spacer looks like, and here's actually a child using it. You would want to use a spacer because it will, as the child takes a nice inhale, deep breath, you want to make sure that the medication reaches the lungs. The spacer's purpose is to help that aid in that. We don't want the medication just kind of sitting on the child's throat or in the mouth. You definitely want to avoid getting like an oral thrush. So spacers are very helpful. Overall, the treatment of asthma can be different for everybody, of course. So some children may just be minor, and some it's emergent and they need to be seen in the emergency room promptly. So another thing to talk about, though, is smoking. If you know your child can't tolerate smoking, I mean, we shouldn't be smoking in front of children anyways, but that's something especially to avoid. So this goes over different medications. Sometimes, corticosteroids are needed just for the short term to help relieve the airway inflammation. Patients who have a lot of allergies, they may need allergy shots. And those, they're hard to do just because there's a lot of follow-up with physicians and weekly visits. Also, medication costs can come in a factor of why maybe a child with asthma wouldn't get allergy shots. So this kind of goes through the information that I read with regards to asthma. So one thing also is with identifying the triggers of asthma is paying attention to your child as they sleep. Maybe they're sleeping and they have to sit up, or maybe they're not sleeping at all. And those kind of would prompt information to follow up with a doctor, or maybe, a daily inhaler, something to keep the airway patent. Could be needed, maybe a rescue inhaler, which would include albuterol. Okay, so just to go over again, the symptoms of pediatric asthma can range from a nagging cough that lasts days or weeks to a sudden and scary emergency. Coughing, especially at night and laying down, is a symptom of asthma. A loud wheezing sound while breathing in and out. Trouble breathing or fast breathing that results in use of accessory muscles, and frequent colds. You can always pay attention to how the child is talking. If the child is talking and kind of acting like they're out of breath, that could, seriously mean that they are in help. They need some help. So summary on this. Asthma can affect individuals in the family as well as more than one member of the family. So say, my son has asthma. I don't have asthma, but his father does have asthma. So I kind of have adjusted, and I've taught myself a lot about asthma and how the chronic illness affects my family. It's important to understand asthma triggers and to avoid the scenarios. Proper treatment of asthma can result in avoiding hospitalizations. So every year, about 14 million Americans see a doctor for asthma. About 1.4 million patients visit a hospital outpatient department for asthma. And almost 1.75 million go to a hospital emergency room. And this is my resource that we went through, and I want to thank you for paying attention.